and salutations, it's me Salty, welcome back to 2 Cents Toys, and today I'm going over the Best Buy exclusive Star Wars Black Series IG-11. Now, I picked this up, clearly, at Best Buy, but back on Black Friday, I want to say. It was sometime in November, I'm pretty sure, and I know clearly it's been out for a long time, but I think what happened was when I picked it up, that was around the time I was moving, which if you've seen previous content on the channel, you'd know that there was kind of a gap while I was moving. And he ended up buried underneath something when I unpacked, and I just found him 2 days ago. I was like almost 100% convinced that I'd completely lost it, like I couldn't find him anywhere. But I figured since I found him, it's a little late, day late, dollar short sort of deal. But I'm going to go ahead and review it anyway. So looking at the box, you see we get IG-11, 2 blasters, some artwork here on the corner, Star Wars Black Series at the top. Side of the box, red with the hash marks letting you know it's an exclusive, IG-11. Other side of the box, we actually get IG-11 to fit on the side, and IG-11 again. Bottom of the box is a bunch of legalese that no one cares about. Top of the box is black except for a plastic J-hook. And the back of the box, we get the IG-11 picture again, small little read-up in a bunch of different languages, and all the legalese all over again. So with all that out of the way, I'm going to get him open, go over articulation and the blasters and all that, even though I'm like 99% sure that he's identical to IG-88. Starting off with the blasters that come with IG-11, they are the same ones that come with IG-88, and I mean, they're very similar, virtually identical to a lot of the blasters we've received before, but what makes them IG-88s and IG-11s is the presence of that small little hole right there next to my finger, because that's what allows them to plug into his forearm so you can balance them. Has a nice kind of metallic sheen to it. Not a whole lot to write home about, really. And this is the other blaster that we received with him, which is the same as IG-88s, of course. They're cast in different colors in IG-88s, but there again is that little hole that allows it to plug into his forearm. For those curious, those are the blasters that come with IG-88. We do not get that little machete that comes with him. And if you've seen my existential crisis video, this is another one of those figures that I just can't bring myself to open. This is kind of the best I can offer you in terms of a comparison between IG-88 and IG-11. They are identical in body mold, but the bandoliers do change. That's about it. Speaking of IG-11, here he is. Very nice paint apps on him. I kind of like the look of him. I like that even though it is the same body mold as IG-88, they're both IG droids, so they're going to be identical. Well, maybe they wouldn't have to be identical. They could just be similar, but unfortunately they are identical. Like I said, the bandolier is like the only kind of molding change, but otherwise it is identical. And I know he may not look it, but there is a lot of articulation packed in here and some things kind of warn you about, which we'll go over. Up here at the head, the only articulation we have is the swivel, which, that's really all you need to do. Here are the arms. They do spin 360. Now on the side, it is hollowed out, so you can come up past 90, and technically you can swivel it, but it kind of just turns at the shoulder, so take that for what you will. Hidden here at the elbow underneath these rubber bits, which they're silicone, they're rubber, they're something, so they'll probably break down over time. I guess you could say it's a single jointed elbow, which you can kind of force it, but if you're not careful they will pop out, which has happened to me twice now trying to film this, and I've had to put it back on. So just be cognizant of that. It will bend, and it will also bend the opposite direction. Hidden under there is a swivel, so it will spin. And up here at the chest is kind of unique. He can, I guess, technically crunch forward that far. If you shift the bandolier out of the way, he can crunch back that far. And the bandolier is rubbery enough that he can spin 360 on top. So you just kind of have to work with it, but it will follow and spin around. So that's kind of like your waist abdomen crunch swivel, but it is up here in the chest. The hips, unfortunately, kind of have like the 5 POA where they're only on a hinge. So they'll go forward that far and they'll go back that far. Now, a bit of an optical illusion is this right here. It looks like it should rotate, but I don't think that it does. At least mine doesn't, but the hip itself rotates underneath it there. He does have double jointed knees, but you kind of have to work around these tubes. They're stretchy enough and malleable enough that they will bend with the legs, but you kind of have to work with it. Like this leg, for example, I kind of bring the strap over, and that lets me bend the first joint, and then I can bend the second joint to bring his knees up that far. Same thing with this leg. On this leg, they're a little bit easier to work around since they instinctively go to that side anyway, but both legs can come up. Down here at, I guess, the ankles, for the lack of a better word, they swivel 360, and it goes back and forward. There is no ankle rocker. There's no kicking out at 45s or 90s or anything of the like, but for some reason it just seems like I can't get this leg to go straight. It kind of has that curvature to it. Now, the weapons, unfortunately, are not universal. You can get the long rifle to plug into his right hand, but unfortunately there's a secondary plug there in the back, so you kind of have to, scoot it off to the side like that to get it to fit, but you can get it in there, which says to me that this blaster is intended for the right hand. As you can see, the kind of, I guess, buttstock, for lack of a better word, sits right in between there, it pegs in, and the hands and this little cradle match up nicely. Keeping with that blaster on the left hand, unfortunately there's this little bump out right here in the left hand that if you try to use the blaster, unfortunately it crashes in and you can't get it to peg. So it'll stay there, but you can tell it's really not meant to go to that arm. Or you can set it kind of cockeyed. Whereas the long blaster pegs in just fine and the clamps kind of match up with the trigger and everything else. All that being said, he is pretty flimsy when you're trying to stand him up, unfortunately. He likes to wobble from side to side because these ankles and the knees tend to get looser the more you use them. But, it is what it is, I suppose. I mean, I don't have much else to say about this. I kind of showed you IG-88 already, and they're identical except for the bandolier. Talking about the character a little bit, he was kind of a sleeper hit. I liked him in the first episode, and then when he showed up at the end, was really awesome. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, sorry. But it's been out for a few months, I'm sure you've seen the memes already and everything else. But anyway, if you like The Mandalorian, then comment below, let me know who your favorite characters, what your favorite episode was, and what you hope to see in Season 2. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. All the support I receive has been really helpful. That's all I got. So, thanks for watching this review on a figure that's been out for a long time, and thanks for stopping by. Until next time, I'm Salty, signing off.